now.
I just want to say, I knew that we'd be the envy of every football guy in Canada.
How about that?
With this XFL gear that we got. This is hot. Like I look like the damn general manager of the XFL. I'm so excited. It's all beautiful. Rod the Rock Pedersen. I wouldn't go that far, but I love the Rock. I love me some Dwayne Johnson.
This is the Rod Pedersen Show.
Boy, that good timing there. Welcome to the RP Show, everybody.
Yeah.
Canada's daytime sports talk show is leaving the harbor. RP here, Moose DuPont there. When was that we got the gift package from the XFL?
That would have been...
It was around Christmas? Long before this CFL, XFL stuff went down.
Yeah. No, it was in the wintertime, wasn't it? When we made that trip to Saskatoon.
That's where it was waiting for us. Mm-hmm. So anyways, I don't see you wearing your XFL stuff very often. Why not?
Because I got a raincoat, that's why.
Hasn't been raining, okay. I'm waiting to pull out the golf shirt, but dang, it continues to be nippy around here.
Yeah.
-10 when I was driving to work here in the sweatpants capital. Come on, spring. Let's go. It's going to be a fun day today on the old RP Show. We're going to talk some XFL. Reed Johnson's going to join us from Seattle. He is the host of the XFL Markcast. If you just can't wait, there's a clip of him on my Twitter this morning. This guy he's bonkers, man. Like we got to settle him down. I think he's got ADD times 100. So I'm looking forward to the chat. The Silver Fox, Kelly Rempel's going to be with us to talk all these topics. And Joey Kenward from, where's he hanging his hat these days? 650 Vancouver? Sportsnet 650?
Yep.
Canucks guys. There's some news going on with the Vancouver Canucks. We'll dabble a little more into this BC Hockey League news today. But let's hit the Quick Six Show topics, please, Jordan. And I will remind all of our viewers and tell the new ones, these are of importance to me. They may not be the biggest Quick Six Show topics in the history of sports today, but they're mine. And number one is Bedard mania, what went down right here in our own backyard last night. Darren and I called it on Access Now Television. Connor Bedard, the exceptional player, a goal and an assist as the Regina Pats beat the Moose Jaw Warriors 3-2 in overtime. And the kid's now leading all Western Hockey League players in scoring, and he's 15. And for the Bedard haters, of which there are many, pipe down. Not haters, but we're just getting people saying we're tired of the Bedard hype. Then I'm going to have to tell you to turn your TV off because the guy's exceeding all expectations. So Connor Bedard now 19 points in 10 games, a goal and a helper last night. There were other games. Brandon smoked PA 7-2 and 7-1, and out west, I believe it was Vancouver over Victoria. I've got it all coming up in the sports updates. That's what's going on here. Tuesday, NHL leftovers from last night's game. I watched the first period of the Oilers-Montreal, and that's all I needed to watch. Because it was over. There was no scoring after the first period. Montreal beat Edmonton 4-0. Of course, it was late in the game that McJesus elbowed Kotkaniemi. And I didn't see that because I'd gone to go do our game. But he got fined this morning. Breaking news this morning. Connor McDavid fined $5,000 for his elbow to the Montreal Canadiens forward last night. Our poll question is, what should have McDavid got for the elbow last night for Capital Auto Mall Universal Collision Center? Your options are 2 minutes, 5-minute major, a suspension, or a fine. You got a fine, and 2 minutes. I said he should have got a 5-minute major for that, and can I rescind my vote? I think 2 minutes was right for that. He didn't hurt the guy. My God, Dubé of the Flames caved in the guy's face with a forearm and didn't get anything for it earlier this year. So I think 2 minutes would have been right. The leader on Twitter last I saw was people wanted to see McDavid suspended. What was it on Facebook?
It looked like fine.
A fine?
Leader.
So the NHL got it right in both. There you go. No, suspension's leading. People want to see McDavid suspended. What are you voting for?
I'm voting for what happened. Fine. It was the maximum allowable fine, $5,000. And I always say supplemental discipline is for when it's not taken care of on the ice. I thought maybe, 2 minutes wasn't really enough, but 2 minutes combined with the fine is perfect. But it would have been interesting. I was really kind of all night thinking about, are they going to suspend him? Do they have the stones to suspend Connor McDavid? Because that's a big deal.
But that's not a suspendable hit.
To set a message. But it wasn't. I'm sure they thought about it. And so I think they got it right.
Well, and think about this. Alex Ovechkin earlier this year speared the kid from Boston right between the legs, and he got a $5,000 fine. So you know what? These stars now have to stand up for themselves because they don't have a Dave Semenko or a Marty McSorley riding shotgun with them, so they're making some room for themselves. I don't have a problem with it. Happy Jets game day, by the way. I'm getting to it. To all of our Winnipeg viewers, I understand. It's in my show topics here. So just hang on. Jets Leafs tonight. I know everything pales in comparison to that. I'm calling up the preview here from the Canadian Press right now. But there's some football topics we got to get to here in the quick six of the warm-up for the Four Seasons Sports Palace. Your home for the NHL, Regina Pats hockey, and order by phone or fourseasons.com because the restaurants are all closed here, as you know, except for takeout. Anyways, point 3. Roger Goddell announcing the NFL to play games in Canada. Well, these are regular season games. This came out, and I guess in a statement yesterday, 3downnation.com's all over it. Hot button topic here in a lot of ways. They've played games in Canada before. They tried to play the Oakland Raiders here last year, 2 years ago now, I guess, and the Rough Riders blocked them from playing in this city. And how do you think that went over with the business community? Because they went to Winnipeg, and although the game ended up being a sham, I think the Bombers alone made $1 million off the game. So it was all a schmozzle the last time they tried to do it, but it won't be a schmozzle this time if the NFL's behind it and it's a regular season game. And for Roger Goodell to say Canada's a very important market to the National Football League, I don't know. That just seemed like another to the CFL. They've literally said, you guys be a self-sustaining entity, as Randy Ambrosie told us on this show. And meanwhile, we're going to come in and mow your lunch in your own backyard. No offense, just business. So that's my take on that. But I also got to say something about Randy Ambrosie. The guy doesn't lie. You may or may not like him. That's fine. We don't know. A lot of people don't like me. I don't lose any sleep over it. But what did he say on Grey Cup Unite Week? The plans to play were confident and optimistic because of the vaccination rollout. And here we sit on March 31st. Wade Miller just said it yesterday on the radio, the Blue Bombers president, that, it's looking good. If he can just hold on 2 more weeks, it's looking real good for the vaccinations. Randy wasn't lying. I would have liked to have seen another plan to play in a bubble. That didn't happen, but Randy didn't lie about that. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
The man doesn't lie, and for that I admire him, but he gets tarred and feathered for what he says. But I can't think. And then he also said that Roger Goodell told him, we're not interested in a partnership. You guys make it on your own. And he said that on this show, Ambrosie did. So I have nothing against Randy Ambrosie. He's fulfilled every request we've ever had. And I don't think there's a commissioner alive that could have bailed them out of what they're dealing with right now. Not one. Not even Mark Cohen. Not even Tom Wright, who all got shown the door by these owners. Over to you, sir. Moose, on the NFL playing games in Canada.
I think it's exciting. I think it's really exciting. I think there's, instantly people are going to want to point to Toronto and the Buffalo Bills. But that's the Buffalo Bills. Like, when we're in Canada and you're not in that Buffalo market, and I know Toronto's close, but they're not Buffalo Bills fans.
No.
Some of them are, and they buy season tickets because it's across, the border really, really close, and you can go to a lot of games. But you're not Buffalo Bills fans, You're a Cowboys fan. I'm a Titans fan. Kelly's a Minnesota fan. Amanda's a Chicago fan, and we have different fans everywhere. Now, if you take that same bad Buffalo Bills team and make them the Toronto Bills, put them in blue, put them in Toronto, you probably sell out the game, right? So I think the NFL can work in Canada. I really do. I think they're going to have fun. They're going to bring games up. They'll probably put one in Regina, maybe Winnipeg. Think of these new stadiums that are going to be attractive. Regular season, they'll sell them out. It'll be fun.
Let's remember one thing, though. I'll believe it when I see it, because we're talking about a 30,000-seat stadium here, a 35,000-seat stadium in Winnipeg. If you're a home team, why would you give up a game in your own stadium that seats 90,000 unless you're going to charge out the yin-yang for the tickets because of some poor saps living out on the prairies that want to watch whomever? So I'll believe it when I see it. That's all. Like in Mexico City, what's the stadium hold? 120,000?
Well, and that's it.
That's a lot easier to do.
A lot more revenue opportunities. The thing about 17 games, though, it allows you to have that one neutral site game every year. You have your 8 home games, your 8 road games, and 1 neutral site game with the effort of growing the game outside of the United States. So that kind of works, I think.
I see that the viewers in Toronto have perked up. Craig Campbell from the Hockey Hall of Fame writes in and says the Bills series was one of the greatest papered ticket scams ever. I don't know about that. I wasn't there. Whatever. I just know that it didn't go over well. I remember them saying Toronto wants an NFL team, but they want a winner. They don't want the Bills. Yeah, get in line. Everybody does. It doesn't work that way. Sorry, I lost my voice calling the hockey game last night. I'm going to have a slight cold, but I'm getting over it. From Troy, from Sober Athletic Wear, he says, the NFL, come. Bring us your dollars. He says, I'd hit Rogers Center for a decent matchup. Sure, I like the CFL too, but Toronto's clearly more interested in the NFL based on the Argos numbers. And they're going back and forth in here on the comments. But I'm moving on. Point 4 here in the warm-up. CFL, XFL leftovers. I will say the things that are being said about The Rock they're terrible. And that guy from the Toronto Business Journal who tagged us in all those columns, I don't know why, I never heard of the guy. I'd heard of the Toronto Business Journal. He seems like a psycho. He called Dwayne Johnson a pimp. Does The Rock deserve that? I don't think so. And people are saying, you're trying to steal our game and ruin our... He hasn't said any of that. Like, my God. Randy Ambrosie stole a page from my playbook, right? Dropping a bomb, walking away, and seeing everybody go nuts. But it's now 3 weeks ago today since he made that announcement, and there's still no details. It always reminds me of this growing up on the farm. I know you love these stories. My cousin Chad, his dad was a chicken farmer. Well, you're from the chicken capital, so you would get it. The chicken capital.
Yep.
So all those hens would be roosting, like hundreds of them. And I would walk up and just smack the chicken wire door, and they'd all go, would fly. And Chad, who's different, he's my cousin, he's 3 months older than me, he's like, don't do that. But I couldn't get enough out of rattling that door of the chicken coop.
Oh, man.
Feathers everywhere.
Everywhere.
And I would do it all the time, and it just drove Chad crazy. That's what Randy Ambrosie did. He smacked the chicken coop door. Right? And there's feathers everywhere. Somebody's got to pick up the feathers, that's all. And by the way, coming up in our next segment, Reed Johnson from the XFL Markcast will be joining us from Seattle to give the XFL side of all this. Because, man, have they been dragged through the mud by Canadians. But that guy from the Toronto Business Journal, like he's... I'm not saying there's anything wrong with him mentally, but he's got issues with regards to the XFL and American football. Like I said to the guy, hey, cowboy, put down the gun, man. The Rock hasn't threatened to do anything here. Right? People are just...
That's right.
Picked up the ball and ran with it.
Nelson's watching. I can see the meme. Randy Ambrosie rattles chicken coop. Feathers everywhere.
Just always... And I had infinite amount of fun doing that, and I still have a lot of fun doing that. This is what Randy Ambrosie did here. Point 5, the CFL announcing yesterday that their draft will be on May 4th. And that is a huge deal because there's some highly touted prospects here in the rectangle from both the Huskies and the Rams, really highly touted. Mm-hmm. So May 4th is the date. That's later than normal. It's after the NFL draft, which I don't even think it matters anymore, the CFL versus the NFL draft. It used to. It doesn't matter as much anymore. From Rob Williamson. Where are you from, Rob? He says, I love the farm stories. Is he from probably nowhere around the farm? But that happened. Have you ever been on a farm? You learn a lot. You learn a lot growing up on a farm, man. Birds and the bees.
How about that?
How about that? What are you thinking?
We had pigs on Grandma and Grandpa's farm. Chickens, rabbits.
I can do a hog call
pretty,
too.
if
my throat wasn't so bad, I could do it better.
We'd get in their pen once in a while.
I don't want to know. Keep that to yourself.
Hey, what you did on your farm.
Where the men are men. Point 6, as I said, earlier. It's the Leafs and the Jets tonight. Let's ring the bell again for you people in Winnipeg, where we've got all those viewers and the Leafs fans, of which I'm literally surrounded by them here. Here is your preview, guys. The two best teams in the North Division face off tonight when the Winnipeg Jets host the Toronto Maple Leafs. 7:30 p.m. Eastern at Bell MTS Center. The Scotia North Division, I might add. The Jets are 6th in the NHL, averaging 3.3 goals per game, led by Kyle Connor with 17. Toronto's 5th in the league, averaging 3.3 goals per game, led by Austin Matthews with 23. In their last matchup on March the 13th, Winnipeg won 5-2. Mark Scheifele recorded a team-high 2 points for the Winnipeg Jets. Jets 6-4 in their last 10. The Leafs 4-5-1. No injuries for the Winnipeg Jets. For the Maple Leafs, Rasmus Sundin out with a foot injury, but that's it. You're getting top lineups tonight.
It's going to be fun. It's going to be fun. And that's what you want, right? You have the great Edmonton-Toronto games, and now you get Toronto-Winnipeg, and then you'll get Edmonton-Winnipeg down the road. And those are the three. So I can't wait. And what's going to be interesting is, who ends up second and who ends up third and plays in that kind of playoff series against each other. It's going to be wild.
Yeah, just to close this out, what's Dan the Situation Saravelli saying? He's watching in Philly right now. He says, Darren supporting flip-flops. #bold. You don't wear those outside the facility, though.
Not yet.
You only wear them in here.
Yeah, not yet. It's not warm enough yet to wear them outside.
He only wears them in here where it's 800 degrees Celsius.
That's right.
From Claude Taylorfer, watching on YouTube, says Rod is a chicken abuser. Go ask those chickens and see what they have to say. Okay, we're going to break. It's going to be fun. Reed Johnson from the XFL Markcast joins us next to get the XFL side of talking about talking. It's the RP Show, and you are watching on Game Plus TV Network, YouTube, and Facebook Live, and 24-hour sports talk for Suds Full Service Car Wash at rodpedersen.com. Listen live.
You're watching Rod Pedersen On Demand. For more of The Rod Pedersen Show, visit rodpedersen.com or follow Rod Pedersen on social media.